Growing up, I was always addicted to something. You know, I first discovered self-improvement when I was 19, and at the time, I remember I was heavily addicted to porn. I'd been jerking off for like 10 years straight at that point. I discovered weed at around that time as well. I was addicted to that. I was really addicted to fast food as well. I was having fast food like 5 times a week, like McDonald's, like KFC, Subway, all of that. I was really addicted to video games since high school as well. League of Legends, that was my shit. I was really good at it, but I had nothing else going for my life besides that. So a normal day for 19-year-old me would have looked like waking up at around 11 a.m., maybe around midday, and hopping straight to the computer and playing like 2-3 hours of League of Legends. After that, I'd probably get McDonald's breakfast. I'd come back, play some more, I'd jack off. I'd probably had jacked off before I started playing the video game, so this probably would have been my second wank. And at nighttime, at around 8 p.m., my friend would always pick myself up and another friend, and we'd always go to this cliff lookout spot and we'd smoke weed. Like, I'm talking about like 3 to 5 cones per session. And I did this every single day when I was 19. And so when I started to become really serious with my own goals, I couldn't make much progress. I'd always get bored, I couldn't stay focused, and I always just ended up going back into my old habits because it felt better in the moment. And so I'm 24 years old now. I've broken all my bad habits. I've broken my procrastination as well. I'm no longer addicted to jerking off. I haven't played video games in years. And smoking weed and taking other drugs and drinking alcohol, that's all in the past for me now. And I've never felt more motivated in my life to actually pursue my dreams. And I think that's how we all should be feeling. And so in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 steps that helped me overcome all my bad habits. And hopefully it will save you years of failure and going through the ups and downs and going to depressions and hating yourself, and helps you really dial in on your goals to live a life of freedom. It is I, Tony fucking Lee. So when it comes to addictions, say you're addicted to jerking off or smoking weed or playing video games, the reason why you love this and you can't stop doing it is because it gives you a dopamine hit. And so dopamine is pretty much a feeling we all get when we're feeling good or when we're striving towards things that we know are good for us. But the problem with these bad vices like scrolling on social media, watching porn, smoking weed, taking drugs is that it's very instant. And so this is why it's really hard to stop, because things that would give you dopamine, like doing your work, going to the gym, talking to that hot girl across the street, these things that have a little bit of pain and resistance that would actually give you so much more dopamine in the end. It hurts so much in the moment. The first actual step that I can give for you guys is by making your actual goals or your tasks or whatever the things that you want to focus on more enjoyable. Because at the end of the day, the reasons why you can't stick to them is because they're not giving you enough dopamine. You don't have enough enjoyment or fulfillment that comes out of it. This is why when you try and do your work or when you're trying to read a book, after 2, 3, 4 minutes, you'll get distracted and you'll just pick up your phone and start scrolling on social media. So find ways to make your goals, your main goals, the things you want to achieve and pursue, enjoyable in the short term. A strategy I love to use is just doing all the hard work or my main work, my goals in the morning. So I'll wake up at 6 a.m., I'll do my morning routine, which involves going for a little walk outside. And when I come back at 6:30, I just attack my goals. And as long as I've done a couple hours of that, I'm happy, I'm free, and I've got the whole rest of the day to do whatever the fuck I want. And so this is why I've swapped going to the gym first thing in the morning to early afternoon, mid-afternoon after I've done all my work, because I genuinely enjoy and look forward to going to the gym and using the sauna and socializing with the people there. So it makes more sense for me to add that at the very end as like a little reward for me doing the hard work, which consists of working on my videos, my business, reading, editing videos, scripting videos, all the boring, mundane shit I love to do first thing in the morning, so then I can have the whole day to be a lazy fuck if I want to and just do the things I love to do as well. I remember when I used to edit my videos as well, I would always play music in the background on my speaker because it made the process more enjoyable for myself. So figure out a way to make your main task and your goals actually enjoyable so that you can stick to them and they become more fun than the negative habits you're addicted to right now. Now, a second method I've used to overcome all my habits, especially with playing with my dick, is by keeping busy. So for the last around 3 years, I've done a lot of big trips overseas. My first trip, I went to America by myself for a month, and when I was in America, I didn't stay at like all these hotels. I did a couple nights, but most of the times I was staying at hostels. It was my first ever time visiting a hostel. I don't know what it was like. And in a hostel dorm, you're sleeping in a room with other people. And what are you gonna do if you're sleeping in a room filled with other people? How are you gonna play with your dick? It just makes no sense. But also, I'm traveling, I'm meeting people, I'm always out of the house, I'm out of my bedroom, I'm doing things. And I've applied this strategy with my own life as well. So if you're addicted to video games, if you're addicted to porn, whatever it is, just get out of the house. To feed into your video game addiction, you have to be home in front of your console, right? So go outside, go to another room, go somewhere where you literally can't do your habit. It's impossible. There is going to be restrictions. You might be like, yeah, I'm addicted to jerking off. You can technically do that anyway. You're not going to do that if you're if you're spending most of your time in a co-working space or in a cafe doing your work. You're much less likely to do that. If you're wanking off in a cafe, in the bathroom of a cafe, then get some help. But what I'm saying is be busy, have a schedule filled out beforehand, and know what you're doing exactly at these time slots, and just meet people. If you're out and about meeting people, doing fun things, doing cool activities, not only is that enjoyable, so it's going to feel better in the long run, but you won't have time to feed into your fucking negative habits. Now, the third method I've used for myself, and it's probably the most powerful one, it's accountability. There is nothing more shameful than your boys or your friends or your mentors or your coach or whoever you want to be accountable with is letting them down. The amount of times I've told my boys, like, oh, I'm not going to jerk off this week, and I've actually jerked off, there is like a weird shame, a weird guilt feeling there that makes me feel like shit. I think humans are very social creatures, so we don't want to let other people down. When it's just on our own and no one else really knows what's going on, then it's a lot easier for us to be like ill-disciplined and give into our habits. But if there's other people holding us accountable, knowing what we're going through, and maybe there's something at stake as well, maybe if we do that, we got to tell them and they get to punch us in the stomach, whatever it is. As long as you have someone there for you that you can tell and be open about and be vulnerable about your struggles, not only is it going to help you mentally understand what your actual struggles are, but you have other people there that can support you and actually help you overcome your struggles. And this is where my coaching comes in as well, by the way. I help other people overcome their procrastination. A lot of my clients, they know what their problems are, they know what their struggles are, they know what actions they need to take, but they just lack the accountability to take the necessary actions. And so if that's something that interests you guys need that accountability, then click the link in the description. So yeah, just making sure your main goals and your main tasks are more enjoyable than your bad habits, and that you're also keeping busy so that you don't have a time to give into your bad habits and your addictions, and holding yourself accountable with other people. There's 3 very easy and really strong methods that you guys can use to overcome your habits and addictions. Alright, so you've got this. I know how fucking painful and how much of a struggle it can be. Trust me, I was addicted to porn, video games, weed, scrolling on my phone for like over a decade, guys. I got introduced to porn when I was like a 6-7 year old. I know how tough it is, but it's important that you fucking finally overcome this, especially if you're an adult, guys. If you're in your mid-20s, like time's going by. Like, I've grown a beard, I'm getting extra wrinkles now, and the fact that, and if I was still addicted to all these things, like, I couldn't imagine how my life would look, because I'm a man now. I'm a grown man, and you guys are a grown man or a grown woman as well watching this. And so if you're really addicted to these things, then I can help you guys take the necessary actions to break these habits and actually work towards your goals. So click the link in the description. But either way, I'm still posting every day, so I'll be here for you guys. I'm holding you guys accountable as well, and you guys are holding me accountable to continue to post every day. Alright, it is I, Tony fucking Lee. I love y'all.